and storms have missed us so far, but will our luck run out before the end of the night? Karen?
All right, Ben, also first at 4, Detroit police consider adding facial recognition to cameras throughout the city. Some call it an invasion of privacy. We're waiting for a vote. Plus, how you can watch a Taylor Swift concert live in your own home and then cash in on summer savings. It's a new partnership. First at 4 starts now.
Local 4 News begins right now with a breaking news alert.
And let's start this Thursday afternoon with breaking news in Highland Park. A man was barricaded in a duplex. We're told a woman and some children were able to get out of the building. Police have just captured this guy in dramatic fashion. Let's bring in Local 4's Jermont Terry. He is there. What happened, Jermont?
Well, Karen, I can tell you one thing. Some very tense moments here off Pilgrim, just off Woodward, a busy afternoon. Witnesses told me they called police because they saw this man walking in this area with a gun near a gas station. By the time police got here, they received word that this man ran inside a duplex here on Pilgrim. Inside that duplex on the bottom floor, a woman and her children living inside, but the upstairs unit was vacant. Now, police knew the man was upstairs, but they also knew this family was inside. For several minutes, close to an hour, we're told, the police were trying to get this individual to surrender. But the big priority at that time was to make sure that woman and her children on the bottom floor got out safely. Now, this is video that we just shot moments ago. It shows the gunman, or the person that started this barricade situation, being taken into custody by Highland Park police. You can see, according to police, that he ran out the back door. They tackled him, and by the time he got to the front of the home, they were taking him inside the police squad car. Now, we want to show you some video from Chopper 4. This video shows 2 young girls running out of the house, coming out of the house moments before this gunman surrendered. Now, these were the 2 young ladies and also their mother that was inside this bottom floor apartment when this gunman decided to just come inside, run from police. Thankfully, in all of this, after everything was said and done, this barricade situation ended peacefully, and Highland Park Police Chief is saying that this is always what they want when they are put into a situation like this. Again, we do not know the motive of this individual, why he ran into this particular house, if he has a license for this gun, all things that Highland Park Police are sorting out at this particular time. But the breaking news, a barricade situation ends peacefully, and that mother and her children are in fact safe, and that gunman is in police custody. That's the very latest. Reporting live with breaking news in Highland Park, Jermont Terry, Local 4.
What a horrible afternoon for that mother and her children. All right, thank you, Jermont. Of course, Jermont will keep us posted on any changes, and we'll check back with you tonight at 5. Busy news afternoon. Breaking news in the death of a 5-year-old found at a Redford motel. 2 suspects are heading into court at this hour. The girl's mother and her mother's boyfriend have been in custody. Today, police also tell us the little girl's 3-year-old brother was also abused. The 5-year-old was found inside the In America motel on Telegraph in Redford Township. The medical examiner says she died of blunt force trauma, and her death is being investigated as a homicide. The court hearing just got started. We do have a crew there, and we'll bring you an update tonight at 5. Detroit police are considering a security upgrade that includes facial recognition technology. Critics call it an invasion of privacy. The Police Board of Commissioners is meeting at this hour. Paula Tutman spoke with Chief Craig about the proposal and what it means.
Hi, Karen. There's a lot to unpack right now. I'm going to get to it as quickly as I can. The police commissioner meeting going on right now. This has been a hot topic that was supposed to be discussed, but it was also put together with putting more cameras at traffic stops. So it was together. When we walked into the meeting, it was announced that they were not going to discuss this facial recognition technology. In fact, Police Craig came out today proactively trying to get in front of this, explaining what he wants to do with this technology and what he does not want to do. You're looking at facial recognition software at work, people walking around in real time on video being collected, identified by an algorithm that measures features and facial aspects that can pin a face to a name. This is exactly what Detroit Police Department Chief James Craig says. He is not proposing to get policy in place to use facial recognition technology as a tool for fighting crime and finding suspects.
That is not random. We are not going to do random facial recognition under no circumstances. Nothing random.
Craig says a still grab of video from the many cameras stationed throughout the city, traffic stops and businesses will be utilized with a specific target or suspect. And only then will the image be used to identify that specific target, not everyone in the room or everyone on the street. Chief Craig says that in the event that facial recognition is needed, rigorous controls have been put in place to deter abuses.
In order to deploy that technology, the request has to come up through the chain of command to me or my designee to, one, approve it, and then notification will then go to the police commission.
You know, they can say, oh, we probably aren't going to use it. Yes, that's built into the software, but we're not going to be turning that switch on. Really, thank you. Reassuring.
But Eric Williams, an attorney for the Detroit Justice Center, which also partners with the ACLU, takes issue not only with the proposal of using facial recognition software.
This technology will end up reinforcing every existing bias in our legal justice system.
In that,
African Americans, people of color, are more likely to be in the database because they are more likely to be arrested because the communities are already over-policed. So you are just reinforcing all the problems that already existed, not to mention that there is a real disparity in the accuracy.
He challenges what Chief Craig claims will and will not happen and what can and cannot happen as unintended consequences.
So they talk about these technologies. Studies show the use of technology does not prevent or deter crime. This is their own statement. Why the hell are they even doing it to begin with?
Well, Chief Craig wanted a vote from the commission today. In fact, those two items together, those traffic cameras and facial recognition technology. Keep in mind, DPD has been using this technology for about a year, but he wanted to put it into policy. We were told at the beginning of the meeting that they were not going to discuss it. They were going to discuss the cameras, not the facial recognition technology. Just 30 seconds before I went on the air, one of the commissioners came out and said they pushed through that line item. It is still unclear whether or not they pushed through that facial recognition technology, even though they said it was still under review with the mayor and the police chief. So obviously there's still a lot more to be unpacked even now.
All right, very, very big story there, and I know you'll be following up. Thank you, Paula. It is a fight to prevent an oil spill in the Great Lakes. Today, Attorney General Dana Nessel filed a lawsuit to shut down oil pipelines in the Straits of Mackinac. Enbridge's Line 5 carries 23 million gallons of oil and natural gas each day. In a statement, Nessel said the pipelines need to be shut down because they, quote, present an unacceptable risk to the Great Lakes. Last year, Enbridge struck a deal with former Governor Rick Snyder to install a tunnel to eliminate the possibility of a leak. This lawsuit would stop that plan. Major investment towards the water we drink. Today, the city of Detroit announced $500 million will be invested to upgrade the city's water and sewer systems. This will take place over the next 5 years. It's an effort to lower the risk of water main breaks and street flooding throughout the neighborhoods. Detroit Mayor Mike Duggan says we need to take care of our neighborhoods.
We have the funding to take care of the thousands and thousands of miles of water and sewer pipe that run in the neighborhoods. And they are the sole responsibility of the city of Detroit.
According to the city, most of Detroit's water and sewer pipes are more than 80 years old, and there's not been a massive infrastructure upgrade since 1930. Mother Nature definitely turning up the heat today. The higher temps can bring some threats of rain. So let's get to Ben Bailey for the latest.
Yeah, Karen, we're watching a pretty nasty line of thunderstorms here on the other side of the lake, but it looks like that is going to miss out on us, not only for the rest of today, but probably tonight. Technically, the marginal risk still exists, but we've got some pretty dry air on top of us. That humidity that we thought was going to come in here today looks like it's going to hold off for at least one more. Still a relatively pleasant, albeit warm night. Temperatures falling out of the 80s to 75 at midnight. But we will look at that humidity coming back with a vengeance tomorrow. Your 4-zone forecast looks at heat index readings, all coming up in a few minutes, Karen.
Sounds good. Thank you, Ben. United States Supreme Court handed down 2 big decisions today that will have an impact right here in Michigan. One deals with how we vote, the other with getting an accurate count on who lives here. Devin Skillian in the newsroom with the decisions and sorting through reaction. Devin.
Yeah, Karen, we're going to start with the census decision. The Trump administration wanted to add a question to the census asking, are you a U.S. citizen? Critics argued that would discourage many non-citizens from taking part, and then they couldn't be counted in the 2020 census. Well, today, the High Court ruled the question should not be included at least for now. The court determined the Trump administration's explanation for adding this citizenship question just wasn't good enough. So right now it is not clear if the Census Bureau might try to offer a better explanation, but census forms are supposed to go to the printers next week, so some urgency here. We also have a gerrymandering rule today that will have a direct impact on Michigan voters. A lower court had ordered the state of Michigan to redraw its legislative districts by 2020. Well, today, a split court ruled 5-4 that federal courts should not be involved in drawing those districts. Supreme Court leaving that decision to voters, state lawmakers, and of course to Congress. Michigan's Governor Whitmer releasing a statement saying, it's the quote, here's the quote, "It's disappointing that the U.S. Supreme Court has refused to review this unfair practice despite several other courts declaring partisan gerrymandering unconstitutional." Court's ruling involved cases in North Carolina and Maryland, but would seem to mean Michigan won't be able to redraw districts for 2020. But remember, voters approved Proposal 2 back in November, so a new bipartisan commission will be mapping out political lines starting in 2022. So, Karen, big day for the Supreme Court as the justices now head off for their summer break. Back to you.
All right, we'll see you at 5. Thanks, Devin.
You bet.
Voters across America getting their first look at 20 of the Democrats running for president. Tonight, you'll see these 7 men and 3 women talking about why they should be in the White House. Frontrunner Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, and Bernie Sanders will be among those on stage. Now, just like last night, the moderators include Lester Holt, Chuck Todd, and MSNBC's Rachel Maddow. Tune in tonight at 9 on Local 4.